And if we ask the stars what they mean, what would they say back to us? Welcome. You want to go on a card journey today? Give me some of your time, and I'll give you some of your story. Well, let's see what the cards say.
Hey there, Cancer. My name is Coy, and I'm going to be your tarot card reader for today. As a set of quick announcements, please be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and hit the notification button. That way, when uploads are made, you can see what the stars are trying to say to you. Also, if interested, individual reads are back up and open. So either message or email me. Link is on main, and yeah, we'll set that up one up. Okay. What are we seeing in this round of reads, Cancer? What's going on with the Carrot people? After the As Things Change set of videos came out, look at them if you haven't had the chance to yet. I decided to switch a lot of things up. And as I said in those set of videos, a lot of things changed with me in my own life, and a lot of things are changing for a lot of people around me. And with that being said, I figured I'd switch up the order. So instead of having the one-on-ones go last, I'm moving them to the front of publishing. So we're going to do one-to-ones first. Now, for those who haven't seen it, what are one-to-ones? One-to-ones are a style of reading where person A is on this side, person B is on this side, and we examine the relationship dynamic between the two. As a caveat to this style of reading, two main things. First, I hesitate to call them love readings. They're not always lovely, right? We don't just talk about the good and sunshiny, rainbowy, ooey gooey type of things and feelings. Sometimes it get real. And if I'm good at my job, I'm able to handle real conversations, right? So that's the first. The second, and I promise you this, it does not always have to be about love. Sometimes it could be about friends, family members, co-workers, somebody you just met. Just what is the most prevalent relationship that's coming up in this read? So as a preamble to that read, Cancer, take what resonates, leave what doesn't, but don't always be so willing to reverse. At times, even when it gets difficult, understand that I, as your tarot card reader, I'm not here to misguide you and mislead you. Trust me, I gotta do this conversation and reads for all 12 signs in every round of reading. Who got the time to lie, right? We just lay our cards out on the table, and good or bad, come rain or sunshine, we talk about it. Because at the end of the day, tarot is a conversation, just an energetic one. So follow along with me in your read today, Cancer, your one-to-one read, and yeah, let's see what the cards say. You'll be over here, your person's going to be over here. So what's the cards that we need to see, please, for Cancer in the read? What are the cards you need us to see, please, for the crab people? Okay, I'll count that as a break. What are the cards we need to see, please, for Cancer in the read? Okay, I like this. Emperor, the card of Aries. Okay, on their side, Ace of Swords. Okay. Well, I mean, two people aren't budging or both are holding their ground. I hope it's not combative. That's the only thing. So what's going on, at least in your opening, Cancer? You're making a choice and they are finding a truth. The thing is, the only thing I worry about is if these are clashing and conflicting ideals, because you're taking action upon what you know, they're fostering what they know in order to take action, right? So they're kind of just approaching the same problem from different angles. Now, what that problem is, and if it's going against each other, that's the interesting part. So, oh, this is fun. Now that we have two individual parties on the board, let's see fronts and backs. Fronts and backs is where the backs, what's left out, what's left to the wayside, not immediately revealed or told. And the fronts, the most front-facing cards towards each party, what's being directly communicated, what's being in conversation. So what's cards that we need to see, please, for Cancer in this read? Their fronts and backs. What are the cards we need to see, please, for Cancer in their read today? Okay, Nine of Swords. Okay, so you've been gearing up and just been in action mode the entire time. Why so? Okay, well, That's a wildly different term from what I thought was going to happen. Two of Cups, okay? Looking for moments of intimacy or at least a deeper meaning in a bond on their end. King of Wands, trying to do the right thing, communicating what is right for now the both of us. And what's being left out, the King of Pentacles. Okay. Okay. I don't know who's putting themselves back out on the market, Cancer, but yeah, I think you've been putting yourself out there for a bit. And so it's like almost imagine we were at, a speed dating event or this idea of, a friend set you up on a blind date and you're coming through with salary, life goals, determination. What's your end game? What's your 5-year plan, your 2-year plan? Like you're sitting down, and for the moment that happens, you're like, I may sound cutthroat, but at least I'm honest. I like it for you. If that's the approach that you need for yourself right now, Cancer, living your truth, right? It's actually been incredibly helpful for you for so far, because I think you started to notice your own patterns and behaviors, and now you're like, in order to avoid me regressing into the old me, we're just gonna cut that out completely, right? I'm gonna be honest and forward. If you don't like that, maybe we're just not meant to be. And so I know it's very chop it up, but hey, it's giving you some type of results that you're pleasantly surprised with. Now on their end, they heard you, and now they're trying to really live up to that. Okay, Cancer was honest with me, so how can I be honest with myself? Do I really intend to take this seriously, or is this just another fling, another dead in the water romance, just another thing to get me by? So whatever person you're connecting with right now that this has landed with, it actually made them really start to contemplate and think, actually, how do I make life happen? Right? How do I live in that truth? Good. Because you're no nonsense and they're getting rid of nonsense. So it seems compatible, at least from an ideological standpoint. Now that we have two parties on the board, show us positions. Show us the cards we need to see, please. Individual positions for this reading. What are the cards we need to see, please? Individual positions for the reading. Okay, nice. So 3 of Pentacles, a workable dynamic. I'm not saying that we can't be friends. I'm not saying that I can't be fun. I'm not saying this is strictly business, but this is my intentionality. You cannot say that I was trying to lie to you or deceive you. I want to start off and see if we work out. I told you my end game. I told you my goals. Now, let's try and be friends, because if you can't handle that, you can't handle all this. Crab people, you know how to snip. On their end, 10 of Cups. Oh, nice. Okay. If for nothing else, this person is realizing that the message that you're bringing is loud and clear. Cancer, you're really not with the BS right now, and it's forcing them to kind of level up. Because to their end, that 10 of Cups, maybe this is exactly what they needed to hear, right? Does that automatically mean you two are going to work out? No, I'm not going to make that false guarantee. What I am saying is that I don't know what you did. It's like a pep talk to the soul. I wonder. Let me write that down for now. Title, Pep Talk to the Soul. Where was I? Pep talk to the soul that, hey, I needed to hear this, so I've asked for it. Now where are we better off? Underneath it all, High Priestess, intuition. Here, no, You are right for moving in the manner that you are. They're right for actually trying to receive this message. Now, does that automatically guarantee success between the parties? No, but what it does guarantee is that, hey, both of you were honest. They were energetically honest. You were honest in your intentions. Can't get mad at that. Cannot get mad at that. Okay. Next, now that we have two people on the board, both looking at each other 1-to-1, what is shared down the middle in between? 1-to-1. Show us the cards I'm going to see, please. What's held in between both parties? What's 1-to-1 read for Cancer? Okay, I like that. I like that. So what's shared in between? We start off with the Three of Wands. Expectations of the horizon. There is an end goal here. We're not just here for, jokes and giggles and all the fun stuff. We're here with a purpose. Now let's see where it takes us. Page of Swords. Also, let's observe and learn. So it doesn't mean it always has to be dead serious and there's no room for fun. In fact, I think this is very new for you, Cancer, and that's why you're kind of stepping out of your shell, proverbially, but also, take it as you will. You are the crab. And on their end, okay, if they're serious, then I got to be serious about me. So who am I when that happens? It's a learning experience on both ends. Eight of Pentacles, okay, revolving around mastery, prowess and dominance. Here, you're serious, they're serious. Hey, we're all serious. So how do we make the dream happen? Four of Wands, a relationship. There we go. No nonsense. Let's cut to the chase. The Sun, the happiest we could have ever been. Underneath it all, 10 of Pentacles, the foundation of everything moving forward, and all the experiences culminating to a reality that we want to call life. Here, down the middle, Cancer, both of you are very clear. There's no, you didn't say, no, there's absolutely no room for that here. What we are saying is that if we're both serious, then what does it mean to mutually elevate, to co-regulate, to co-lift each other together? What would that actually mean and look like? What does that form of happiness look like, instead of just putting all of that emotional responsibility onto the other? Okay, good. It's a healthy way to start it out. In resolution, show us cards of resolution before we move forward. First, to find the major arcana strung across the table for Cancer in their read, we will first look at the Emperor. Why are you standing in this power and this decision? Those cards we need to see, please, for Cancer in this read. Nine of Wands. Okay, I understand why. Because like I said at the beginning, this is new for you. I know you're very cutthroat right now. This is something that you're not used to doing. But hey, you said I'm going to bite the bullet and do it anyways. I know it's uncomfortable because the things you let slide, are not going to work, even though that would be the easiest option. And part of you knows every time I settled for less, I got less. It's a very hard habit to break, so congratulations, Cancer. You're on your way to doing it because you're starting to live it. And are there any others on the board? The Sun. What about the Sun? The Moon. Not necessarily competing energies, but complementary. The Sun, the most obvious, glaringly hot and bright in the sky. The Moon, the obfuscation of shadows. What does that mean when put together, Cancer? It means maybe beauty here is located in the unknown. The unknown meaning both of your transformations put together. Again, I can't guarantee success, but I can guarantee this is one of the most healthiest starts to a successful pathway. Underneath it all, before we do that, in resolution, Three of Wands, more expectations of the horizon, what could actually come from this. And Nine of Pentacles, it requires work, it requires investment, it requires doing the little things. Underneath it all, the King of Pentacles, we're making the right investment here. What do we see upon this read? Um, I got a Cancer who's no nonsense about what they want from their interpersonal and dating life with another person. And while your approach kind of deterred other parties who weren't really that serious in the first place, you definitely caught the eye of a few, if not one very particular person who, if they are to believe what you're saying because they see you living it, now they have to ask, how do I level up to match them, to meet them, to grow with them? Both of you seem to want this with each other, but underneath it all, I think both of you are being posed a question, well, when we both want to level up, what does life have in store for us? Right? A pep talk for the soul. But not just for you, but for them. How do we live in our truth as we both elevate? That's a good question. That's why I see in your read today, Cancer. I hope this conversation helped. And yeah, hey, it may be a new experience, but it doesn't necessarily mean that it won't be a good one. I'll see you around, okay? Take care.